Here on the show, Michael Jackson's family and his lawyers are now alleging a massive conspiracy behind his death. In fact, they're also beginning to question and name specific people they say formed a coterie around Michael Jackson and literally worked him to death. In fact, Michael Jackson's lawyer and family claim the singer's death was caused by a greedy coterie that was only interested in the money the king of pop could make them. The lawyer was claimed that doctors over-medicated Michael because his agents wanted him fit to perform in concerts. He was gone on to allege that Michael Jackson was against performing 50 concerts in the United Kingdom as he was not fit enough to perform 50 gigs. And his family chipped in to say that Michael was under a lot of pressure from his agents, and there was also, of course, a lot of stress as a result of his contractual obligations. Quite clearly, the mystery surrounding Michael Jackson has now deepened. In fact, all of these conspiracy theories that are being projected are also being given a massive fillip by some unanswered questions that are now being asked increasingly. In fact, some of these unanswered questions are rather intriguing in nature because they bring out certain inconsistencies perhaps in the sequence of events as well as other circumstances that led to Michael Jackson's death. Let's quickly go across now to Niharika Chugh for more details on some of these unanswered questions that are being pointedly asked. Niharika, in the world press, in fact by the family as well as by the lawyers of Michael Jackson, certain unanswered questions are being put forth which certainly raise some important and pertinent questions.
Absolutely, Rahul. In fact, like you said, several conspiracy theories doing the rounds about how Michael Jackson did actually lose his life. Now, remember, like you mentioned, he was planning his comeback, and a few days from now, he was to start his the first of his 50 concerts that was scheduled for the month of July. Very important to note here that people around him, his doctors, have never once mentioned that during the practice sessions, the rehearsals that were taking place for these concerts, never did they notice any sign of weakness or illness in Michael Jackson, which raises one very, very big question that if Jackson's physical instructors did not see any sign of discomfort, then why was he medicated? Of course, reports doing the rounds that he was overdrugged, and that is what led to his cardiac arrest. Also remember, his physicians, his doctors were around him in the room when he suffered that cardiac arrest.
In fact, Niharika, that would be rather unusual, wouldn't it? If the doctors were medicating him with prescription drugs, they would have known, wouldn't they have, Niharika, how much exactly to give him. Now, there are certain other people who've come forth, medical experts, to say that sometimes these painkillers can actually build up within the body, isn't it?
Absolutely, Rahul. In fact, there is a talk that it is perhaps a combination of stress and the fact that he was overdrugged. Also, allegations now being made by his family that there was a coterie of people, including Michael Jackson's own doctors, who were medicating him, over-medicating him rather, so that he could perform those 50 concerts, a very demanding task indeed from someone who's been ailing for so many years.
And that's prompting many more questions. Was someone forcing Michael Jackson to perform those 50 gigs? Let's in fact cut across to New York, where we are joined by Natasha Israni. Natasha, it's obviously early hours of the morning in New York. The day is just getting underway, but already around the world, because obviously the long lag between when we are actually going to learn through toxicology reports just what killed Michael Jackson, many people alleging conspiracies. There's already theories as well as some versions being put out by the family lawyer that seems to suggest that Michael Jackson was perhaps pushed into performing, into taking on a great deal of stress that might have led to this eventual cardiac arrest.
Well, yes, Rahul. In fact, the speculation started yesterday itself. I mean, soon after his death, this lawyer was speaking to a lot of U.S. networks here, talking about the fact that he thinks that prescription drugs might have been something to do with the death, and that the stress that Jackson was undergoing because of his upcoming concerts is also a factor in the situation. So the speculation actually started very quickly yesterday itself, and now it's reaching ahead with a lot of medical experts weighing in. Like Niharika was just telling you, it could be a portent, a lot of this in fact. But the truth is, till now, this is still speculation. Till that toxicology result comes out, and till we have the
and on that
result,
point,
we'll never know for sure.